All right, so we need to talk about one of the kill streaks in Call of Duty Modern Warfare being absolute garbage. And that, of course, is the cluster strike. As you can see here, it's a 5 kill streak, and it says, signal for a number of cluster mortars to hit the designated location. Now, if you weren't aware, in Modern Warfare, you can only pick one kill streak from each kill category. So for the 5 kill, you can pick the cluster strike, the cruise missile, or the precision airstrike. Now, of these three, the cluster strike is the worst streak. And I'm going to be bold here and say the cluster strike is the worst streak in the entire game. First, let me show you the in-game tutorial of how you use this. So I think they do this in slow motion. You can see you whip out a little laser and you have to target where you want it. And then after a few seconds, this has got to be in slow motion. Look how slow it's going. After a few seconds, a bunch of bombs get dropped, not exactly on the spot you marked, but, you know, in a big circle around it. So that's more or less the score streak, or kill streak, excuse me. You would think, based on this description and what you're seeing here, that this would be pretty good, especially for objective games. Maybe headquarters, domination, where people are clustered up and you want to just surprise them. Now, in actuality, it's absolute wank on the cob. Number one, you have to pull out the little laser, you have to drop your weapon down, you have to pinpoint an exact spot. Number two, it takes at least 3 seconds for the first bomb to drop in. If your enemy sees you whip out that little green light, and yes, they can see you, you physically hold it in your hand and you can see the laser from halfway across the map, then they're gonna get the hey batter batter out of there. They're not gonna stick around and just let you drop cluster bombs on their face. That's not how it works. Now again, as you can see here, even though he called this strike directly on me, the first one hits way in front of me, so that one missed completely. Now you can also notice that the cluster strikes show up on the minimap. Why is that? That should only show up for the person calling it in. The enemy should not see those on the map. I don't think the cluster strike would be overpowered if those were removed from the minimap. Now, in my opinion, the cluster strike, number one, should be automatic. Number two, you shouldn't have to whip out the laser and pinpoint where you want it. The drawback to that is you have to visualize where you want it. Let's compare this to a lightning strike from a prior Call of Duty game. In those games, when you got your lightning strike, you whip out some kind of device where you can see the entire map and you can call it in wherever you want. That's how it should have been. And it should be almost instantaneous. You place it down on the map, it comes in immediately. That won't allow for your enemy to escape as they're doing right now. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of the shock and awe mission. So in this mission, you get 8 objectives that are all kill streak related. The first one is 30 personal radars, easy. Second one is get 25 kills with the shield turret. Third one is 30 UAVs, then 25 care packages, and then we come to the cluster strikes. When I first saw this, I was thinking, okay, 20 kills, that's gonna be super easy. But as you can see, I'm at 11 out of 20, and I've been at this for probably over 5 hours, no exaggeration. So let's just go into my combat record here for kill streaks. Let's take a look at a few of these and see how they're performing. Now, the precision airstrike is not great, but it's also not bad. 34 uses, 20 kills. So I'm not even getting 1 kill per use, but I'm pretty close. The shield turret I've used 79 times and I've got 62 kills. Again, almost 1 kill per usage. Now the cruise missile I've only called in 13 times and I've only got 7 kills. And that's more or less my fault because it's so hard to aim and control that cruise missile. So not to mention that people hide in buildings. For me to call it in and everyone's inside a building, you can't really count that, but it counts regardless. Now the Nielsen is a great streak. 5 uses and 11 kills. That's how every kill streak should be in this game. Really, really proficient. Likewise, obviously the gunship's gonna be great. I've only called it in twice, but I've got 10 kills, 5 kills per use. That's amazing. Sentry gun is another streak that's absolutely terrible in this game. 10 uses, 3 kills. That thing should be instant. The moment someone steps in front of that, it should start firing. Instead, there's a massive wind-up time and anyone can get out of there as quick as they want. VTOL jet, that's pretty good. I've only used it once, but got 4 kills. And then we come to the cluster strike. 73 uses, 27 kills. This is absolutely ridiculous. For you mathematicians out there, that means I'm not even coming close to getting 1 single kill per usage with this thing. It's absolutely terrible. In fact, I want to know, go to your combat record, let me know in the comments, how many uses and kills do you have? I can't be the only one that thinks this is a terrible streak. In fact, most people that I question myself, when I go into these lobbies, I ask people, hey, do you use the cluster strike? And you know what the #1 response is? No, it's terrible. So most people don't even use it because they know it's bad. I thought the shield turret was bad. It was hard enough for me to get 20 kills with that. But again, as you can see, I almost average 1 kill per use. I would take 1 kill per cluster strike. But the fact that the cluster strike is a 5 kill streak, and it's absolutely terrible that nobody wants to use it, and when you do use it, you can't even average not even close to 1 kill per usage. And trust me, I've tried tactics as well. For example, I've put care packages out and waited in the corner and called in the cluster strike when someone captures one of these. But you know what? The cluster strike comes so slowly that the guy can scurry away scot-free with my care package and not be any worse for wear. I've also tried to stun newbie boobies. So if I see someone just standing still or camping in a corner, I'll call the cluster strike in and then I'll stun them with a grenade. And guess what? They can still get out of the way because the minimap alerts them that it's coming, and it takes so long to get that first strike in. And then of course you got to add in the variable randomness to the streak. Even though you call it right there, the bombs can drop all around where you target. So chances are some of these strikes are going to miss. And like I said, because the enemy can see it on the minimap, nobody's going to go in that area. Why would you walk into an area where the minimap is indicating big bombs are dropping on your face? So unless you get a complete newbie booby, chances are you're not going to get a kill with this, let alone 20 for the required mission. By far, out of all the kill streaks in this game, I think the cluster strike is the worst. Hopefully they take a look at the community data for these kill streaks, because a lot of these need buffed, and in particular this terrible cluster strike.